Well, we're coming up on the Stampede grounds, and I guess that's going to be the new convention center, and I think it's going to be a hockey arena in there. Wow, it's big. You can see that it goes further back there, so I'm going to try and venture in. Now, from what I've been told, apparently this is going to be the road that I'm walking east on is going to go straight through Stampede grounds and do a roundabout and come back out. At least that was the proposed idea a couple of years ago. But we'll see. Wow, it looks totally different here. Even the LRT, the upper bridge that used to go across, it's all gone. The second tier is gone. Looks like everything there is kind of makeshift, temporary, that white wall. Crazy. So I just entered the Stampede grounds from the north entrance. There's Scotsman's Hill. There's the Saddle Dome, which was built for the '88 Olympics. It opened up back in '85, I believe, or '84. And that's part of the existing Roundup Center that's been there for 20 plus years. I'm going to venture this way, which is south, and go explore the other side of this structure. It's crazy to think that, you know, as recently as early 1980s, which I guess is 40 years ago, all this was neighborhood. It was all part of Victoria Park. Stampede grounds were here, but all of this here was houses. There was a church there. That's a newer building. As far as you can see where the train track, you can see a train rolling way over there. There was homes. This was Victoria Park, the oldest district in the city of Calgary. Now Calgary Stampede has most of it, and it's all basically parking for the arena, hockey arena. You can still see part of an old corner store. It's probably built back in the early 1900s, and it's still straight ahead there. I'm pretty sure Stampede Park bought that, and they use that for storage or something. Yeah, so different here. Even where the Saddle Dome was, there was houses. Kind of houses up to about there, and then that was the old Revelstoke Acres during Stampede. They had logging and, you know, sort of a display set up for patrons of the grounds. Log rolling and, you know, log cutting and whatever. That was a really good event. But after they built the Saddle Dome, that Revelstoke Acres was no more. And over there is the district of Ramsey, up along that cliff. And going beyond that cliff, going down eastward is more Ramsey. And then eventually you'll hit Inglewood. So I just can't believe how much. I had some friends that lived here in Victoria Park back in the late 70s, early 80s. And yeah, so 15th Avenue used to run right through here. And they lived just to my left, which is now all parking lot. So now we're getting a little bit closer. I am inside the Stampede grounds. There's the gates, and there's the backside of that convention center. Somebody I just spoke with said, as far as they know, there is no hockey arena going in this building. Initially, they were debating it, and they were going to put one in there. But as far as he knows, no arena. But that's quite the structure, whatever they got going on there. I'm going to go explore it. And this thing's pretty much obsolete as far as NHL standards go for arenas. Calgary Flames need a bigger building, but I guess they have to produce a little more, maybe win a Stanley Cup. That might help. They haven't won one in, geez, 34 years. So now I'm kind of standing on the southeast side of this new convention center. And I guess that's what the finished product will look like. With the road going straight through the Stampede grounds. Kind of cool. And here's the Saddle Dome. So yeah, it's going to be really neat to see how this looks when it's done. And for those of us that have lived here for many years, since the early 80s, they've had a skywalk that came all the way from Stampede LRT station, which is like our transit system, our light rail transit. The skywalk came from way past that boom, from basically McLeod Trail all the way above me, and it would have linked up with those upper stairs. And they ripped all that out of here, I guess about 2 years ago. And it was last used as they closed it down. There was a zombie Netflix TV series, and I can't think of what it's called, Dark something. It's a Canadian production. It was filmed locally, and there was a big zombie scene filmed here. And they used that for one of the scenes. And here we are on the east side. That'd make for a fun slide. There. And there's the Saddle Dome. So all this is Stampede Park ground. So during Calgary Stampede for that 10 days, all of the rides and midway stuff is here, way over that way. And there's a chairlift that goes across the park. The grandstand and the racetrack and that for the chuck wagons is in behind all this. Unbelievable. I can see the Calgary Tower. Those guys are really high up. Wow. South side. I just thought I would show every angle of this. Hopefully I can get back across over here. Probably not. I might have to go all the way around again. Yeah, now it's just parking for as far as you can see. So I talked to one fellow, he's from Huntsville, Alabama, and he's setting up some flags. Apparently there's something called Nitro. I don't know what that is. He said there's racing. No. What is that? Is that like motorbike, or is it like remote control cars? Really don't know. Nitro. It's 8 degrees Celsius right now. It's quite mild, but he found it cold. I said, luckily you're not in Winnipeg, because it's minus 20 there probably. Wow. I've operated many boom lifts, and that would be much higher than I've had to go. I was on a Genie about that size. And I forget the different types. There's the articulated, which is like a knuckle and it kind of bends. And then there's this one. I forget what that's called. Extended boom. Or... These are not articulated because they only bend in 1 or 2 spots. That top and then where the basket is. Wow. That's working at heights. So I am pretty much on the exact opposite side where I began this video. See that kind of fort? I was just on the other side of that along McLeod Trail, filming from there, shooting this way. So people are obviously coming in from somewhere, maybe the LRT. And here's the chairlift that I was talking about. During Stampede Week, that's open and it kind of assists people getting across the Stampede grounds way to the other side. And there's the grandstand, very outdated, and that's where they used to have live horse racing every weekend, but now it's just used during Stampede Week, as far as I know, for chuck wagons and the rodeo. There's an entrance there. They already have the doors set up. And I kind of like that gray facade. It looks like it's actually brick. I thought it was like panels, but they look like, unless they're panels of brick to make it look like individual bricks. Not sure. It is cool. It almost looks metallic, and maybe it is. Some big windows over here on this end. And this was Weedickville. Back in the day, you would actually enter the Stampede grounds on foot. There was a big wooden fence here, and you would come in the grounds this way. They closed that when they put the LRT in. So when they completed the LRT back in '81, this was closed. But at one point, this is where you would enter the grounds through a big gate here in the late 1970s. That's just really neat to see how different everything is here now. Wow. Crazy. So that's where I was standing when I shot the video. So it's all about depth perception. When I was there, looking this way, all I saw was this PCL fence. I didn't think that I could get through here. So when you come, you can't access this side. You can. Yeah, crazy. I walked all the way around to Victoria Park because I thought this fence was here. I didn't have my glasses on. What a waste of time. So that way when you come here, how to get in.